Hey friends, it's Allison. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you another design with me, design process and scrapbook process. If you're not interested in sticking around for the design process, you can skip ahead to the scrapbook process. Otherwise, I will walk you through how I created or designed today's layout. So in my scrapbooking, I am moving into fall. Summer is over, or it's winding down anyways, and school has started for my kids. I'm working on 2019, so I am a little bit behind as far as timeline goes. I'm also a chronological scrapbooker. I am the type of person that is very linear. You can see it in my crafting, and it's the way that I function on a daily basis as well. I follow steps, it's got to be in order, and I make lists, the same thing. Everything is neat and orderly and linear, and you start at one place and you finish at another, and that's how I scrapbook. So I am working on school starting. My daughters started grade 4 in 2019. Last year and a half, I guess. So that's what I'm working on. So the first thing I thought of when I decided to create this layout was fall. It's not technically fall at the beginning of September. The first day of fall doesn't come until later, but with school starting, fall is sort of synonymous with this time of year. So I thought of fall, and I decided to use fall themed colors. So that explains the trees. I've got a pine tree and a couple of other trees, and I'm sticking with an orange, yellow, green, and very neutral color palette with this layout. I used the duplicate button quite a bit. Just to make copies of the trees that are already in the layout. My other favorite button to use, and it is your best friend, is the arrange button. When you select that, you have the freedom to choose where an element is going to go on your layout. If you want it in the very front, you can select send to front, and it'll sit on top of everything that's behind it. If you don't want it right in the front, but you want it in the back, you can select send to back. I'm doing that right now with the base of my layout. So I'm just choosing the color. The image, when you use the shapes function, is always a really dark gray. So I change the color and I size it to 12 by 12. So I chose the orange here, and I did it again, choosing the square option shape. And then I used the arrange function to put the base pages where they belong. So the orange goes to the very back. So I selected send to back. And then after I created the square for the matted portion of the layout base, I selected send to back again. And then I selected move forward because I don't want it behind the orange square. I want it in front of the orange square. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I can do a more close-up video of what I'm talking about. And actually, I will be getting to that at some point in my Cricut SOS videos. So if you would like to see that and exactly how it works, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be sure to put that in a video in the near future. So that basically sums up that design. It's very simple, and it is school themed. Obviously you could see school starts today, and it's going to be pictures of the girls standing at their bus stop waiting for the bus. Today's scrapbook layout is also super simple. I cut strips of cardstock that were roughly 1.5 inches wide by 12. And I arranged them in a waterfall pattern, and then I kind of ruffled up the edges of the strips of paper just to give it a little bit of dimension. The relax circle is quite large, and it cut actually in two pieces. You can see the paper in the background that it's sitting on top of, that it was cut from. So relax stayed on the 12 by 12 paper, but the part that I wanted to use was the, I guess, what is that? The positive? It'd be the negative of that cut file. I decided to mat it on the same cardstock. I'm using Close to My Heart cardstock. Close to My Heart cardstock is really nice because it is dual toned. So one side of the cardstock, and you can see it here while I'm cutting out the circle. One side is true to the color. This is almond that I'm using. The other side is a shade lighter. So you get double the mileage out of one piece of cardstock. And I really liked that for this particular usage. I didn't want there to be any negative space behind the word relax. I didn't want the strips of paper underneath it to show through. You'll see what I mean when I finish inking the edges of the circle. I didn't want anything peeking through from behind it, so I matted it to the darker side of the same cardstock just to give it a tone-on-tone look. I'm just cutting off the edges of the paper strips that are hanging off of my layout base. Once I've got that done, I'm going to add some craft foam to the back of the relax cut file. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned that. That large circle says relax. This layout is going to be about just that, relaxing. So, first of all, I'm going to add some of the embellishments to this actually ends up being my title / journal mat all in one. So I'm going to add these super cute little clouds. I've mentioned in my videos that I want to start, or had a goal to start using more of my 6x6 mini paper pads, especially for backing cut files and die cutting and stuff like that. Those clouds were actually cut from a 6x6 paper pad I had in my stash. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what company it's from. I will make sure to link everything I used today in the description box down below. I don't believe the collection is available anymore. It's been so many years since I bought that pad. I don't even know if the manufacturer is around anymore either. That's how old it is. So anyways, I used that cute little paper to make the clouds from. I like the polka dots in it. They're super cute. Now that I have that all adhered, I'm adding craft foam to the back of the circle. I wanted to use craft foam because the strips underneath it have enough height already with the distressed edges. I wanted it to sit above that so there's not weird bumps going through the title / journal spot. So that's why I added craft foam. Now, of course, because the palm trees are going over top and to the side of the relaxed circle, they also needed to be popped up with foam squares. I use a combination of foam squares. I love using my foam squares, but I'm trying to stretch them out more because they are super expensive. I buy them from Michaels, and even though Michaels is, for the most part, really affordable, I go through them too fast. So I got the craft foam to help me stretch the dimensional part of adhesives out, and actually it has been working really quite well, and I'm quite happy with that. So if you are looking for an more economical and affordable solution to using dimensional like foam, craft foam or foam squares, check out your dollar store, check out your Walmart, Dollar Trees even. They will have craft foam and it's pretty great. I like working with it. And if you're looking for ways to stretch out your dimensional adhesives, this is a great way to do that as well. I inked all of the clouds. I've got 2 other clouds here that I'm going to adhere to the layout on the other side of the palm trees. They're also getting some foam squares just so they sit above the distressed edges of the paper strips. And once that is done, I think I go and actually ink the edge of my photo as well. I mat it to white cardstock. I don't think I've done that just yet. I'm doing that right now. So I'm going to mat it to white cardstock, and I don't actually think of inking the edges of that white cardstock until later on. It just, it didn't occur to me. I do put together some seagulls too that are going to embellish this layout. There's just 2 of them. I could have inked them as well, but I didn't. I maybe should have, but once again, it was an oversight and didn't think of it until it was too late. The photo is going to be adhered with craft foam as well. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want the photo placed. I want to leave enough room on the title / journaling spot for my journaling. So I keep moving the picture around and end up moving it closer to the right side of the layout than the left, just so I have enough room for my journaling. So there's the craft foam again. I'm just adding some adhesive, and that's going to get popped over the palm trees. And like I said, it's closer to the right hand side of the layout. It's off center is what I'm trying to say. So it's going to live there. Here's the seagulls. I'm going to glue them together because they're 2 pieces off camera. And once I have that done, one will be glued to the title spot and the other one will be glued on the other side of the palm trees. So these little seagulls looked kind of creepy without any eyes. So I just took a black pen and doodled eyes on them just to make them feel a little bit more authentic and less creepy. It worked. So it's hard to see in the video, but it is there. You might see it in the close-ups, I'm not sure. I do have close-ups coming up at the end of the video, so be sure you stick around for that as well if you would like. So there's my seagulls. I was impressed that there were seagull images in my Cricut image library. I thought that was pretty awesome. I am loving my subscription to Cricut, the Cricut image library. I highly, highly recommend it if you can fit it into your budget. It's well worth the cost. It's just over $100 a year. I think it ends up being about $10 a month, which I think is fair. But the access that it gives to you in the Cricut image library is seriously phenomenal. That's why I've started these videos and started creating solely with my Cricut, because I think it's fantastic. I have access to all kinds of fonts. I have access to all kinds of images. There are always new free images that are being added. To me, it's just a no-brainer. And then the benefits that come along with having the subscription when you shop Cricut.com doesn't hurt either. I think overall and all around, it's fantastic. So if you ever want to look into it, I highly, highly recommend getting a subscription. So I'm going to add a phrase sticker from this Chrissy Ann phrase sticker booklet. They're all snarky, which I think is kind of fun. And I found a sticker in this book that says your jealousy is showing. Because yes, when I look at that photo of my daughter just totally chilling in on our sectional, she looks pretty comfy and it makes me a bit jealous. So I snapped that picture of her because she looks super, super comfortable. I end up moving the sticker to the bottom center of the photo after I'm done putting the layout together. This is the finishing touch right here, just adding some white splatter. I used white re-inker from Close to My Heart and added just a little bit of water to make it go further. And here's the close-ups. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this layout inspired you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and a like. And I will be back again soon with more creative inspiration for you. Take care, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.